So today we're going to go ahead and do a quick garden tour. Alright, I was out of town for about a week. I did not set an actual timer for any watering, so it's good to come back and see such a lush garden. Actually, kind of a crazy garden. A lot of that is that I have several crops that are really taking over. As you see here, these here are the golden crispy melons. They've really spread throughout this bed. You can see the Jimmy Nardello here, the black vernissage tomatoes. They're kind of getting taken over by the golden crispy melons, but I can stake that up and hopefully get that going. But I did give some black vernissage tomatoes to some family and friends, so either way we'll see how those do, but I think they're actually still growing fine there. So here is where I'm growing cucumbers. Kind of crazy. Over here I have some of these big Albanian cucumbers. You can see them here, and there's another one. Hope you can see it right in there. Yeah. So I'll pick some of those off, and here's a smaller version. Those things will actually grow to 3 feet or so, so maybe I'll leave one on purpose just to see how big it can get and see what that looks like. My beans seem to have gotten pretty decimated or eaten by something. I think probably it was rabbits that got in here again. I have a pole bean that's mixed up here with the cucumbers. You can actually see the flower right here. So I actually have a volunteer tomato plant that is kind of in here amongst the summer squash. I'm not sure it'll actually fruit since it's pretty shaded out here. But I had tomatoes in this bed last year, and this year it just came up. You'll see this desi squash has really grown out. It's nice and big, and I've got a big one I need to get off there, and then several small ones that are growing. And the plant's really spread out here. And there's a little pepper plant that is in here, but basically been taken over by the summer squash. And then this one here is actually my white scallop squash, but it's looking like it is pretty shaded out between the cucumbers and the other summer squash. Here I have my petite Marseille peppers. I'll probably do a video highlighting them specifically, but here's a bit of a spoiler for you. They taste like a good sweet orange pepper. They're pretty tasty. I recommend them, but if you enjoy orange sweet peppers, that's what this tastes like. So I will possibly do another video on it specifically, but just want you to get the idea for it. Here I have various watermelon types. This here is my Moon and Star watermelon. Over there I have my Sugar Baby watermelon. And here's my Charentice melon. It's more like a cantaloupe style. That's over there. I see I actually have a melon growing up onto my black pearl pepper here. It does have a little melon right down there, so I don't want to be too harsh with it, but I definitely don't want it growing up my black pearl pepper, so I'll go ahead and move it. Just going to set it down here and let it go this other direction, hopefully not climb up there that way. I do see right in there. Let's see if we can look at it closely. Right there. Right there. I have a melon that is actually a fairly good size. Which plant exactly it's off of, I guess I don't know. Let's take a closer look. It looks like it's probably the Moon and Stars watermelon. So it still will grow more than that, but I'm not sure how many watermelons I actually have growing in this whole mass of stuff, but hopefully I'll get some good ones out and have them ripen before winter freeze. But that's probably still mid-October or so before we worry about that, so hopefully we've got some good time. Over there you'll see I have some pepperoncinis that are turning red. Anything else of note down here? My kale's getting pretty covered up by all these melons, and you see that purple basil in there also right in the midst of it. There's another golden crispy over there ready to harvest. I smell that oregano that I'm standing on. My tomatoes, I think something got in here while I was gone, or maybe just because I didn't have the water going, it caused them to drop. When I left, it was covered in red tomatoes. Now it's less so. There's still a lot of green tomatoes on here that will ripen, so I'm not that upset, but it's definitely not as magnificent. Actually, in yesterday's video, that was a video from before the trip, probably a couple weeks ago. So this shows kind of what's happened over this couple weeks. And there's still definitely enough little red tomatoes on here to snack. And then here's some of the wildflowers from that Cheerios wildflower mix that are up now. And this is my cinnamon basil. And it's flowered out. You can see I should have harvested a lot more of the chamomile. I need to at least pull it for seed, if not for tea. You'll notice the petals are actually off of it at this point. But I'm sure it'll continue to flower, and the more I pull it off, the more it'll flower. This is my Albanian red hot pepper. I should have staked the plant. It's obviously leaning over here. But these will ripen up and be good. So that's a pretty good overview of what's going on in the garden. So here's a little bit of those cucumbers. Wow, what do we have here? This must be one of those Italian cucumbers that's just grown kind of into a melon. Pull it off here. Yeah. Italian cucumber that I guess grew too big. Down here I think this is a muncher cucumber. Pull it off too. I don't see any of my market cucumbers actually coming up yet. And I've got it pretty clustered over there. I think I'll leave this Armenian right here to grow into one of those 3 feet ones. But I'll go ahead and pull some of the others. If you would like to show us what's going on in your garden, please check out this video here. If you aren't already subscribed to the channel, please do subscribe to find out more about what's going on here and tips and tricks for growing vegetables.